Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently engaged in a war that we probably don't want to be in for too much longer. We're very low on alloys, we need to replenish a lot of ships, and we need to take back a bunch of territory over here. So that's kind of our first mission. Actually, what is the actual strength of these? 50k, 100k in the XT941. Okay, I feel like what we should do right now... Well, this is going to be a potential issue. I feel like what we should do right now is have this fleet jump drive to Capra. From there, we will come in and grab this starbase. Make sure that we eliminate this fleet. And then we're going to come in this direction. After we take Mintaka, we can head over this way, like so. Okay, cool. As far as this goes over here, I think we're going to continue to wait over here. I do want additional reinforcements over this way, but we have to get this under control. And we want to get this under control as well, as soon as we can. So we can definitely get that done fairly easily. We'll need to take territory back over here as well. So that's all something that we need to think about. We are currently at 53% war exhaustion, and if we were to status quo right now, we would gain some, and we would lose some. There's no doubt about that. So, to that end, let's go ahead and see what we've got going on for jobs here. This Forge world, we could definitely put an industrial district on. Now, we're negative on our energy credits. That's not necessarily fine, but it'll have to do. For now, we'll put in an industrial district here as well. We desperately need more alloys. And we're going to continue to go through these. Anything else over here? That is a negative. Okay. So, for right now, we're going to leave our bastions where they're at, and we're going to come down to our fleets here. The Bronzite requires orders. I really want to hit Rimborth. I also don't think that that will be particularly successful. So that is a concern. We come through here, they're going to pour through this gateway. I'm like 95% certain about that. So we're going to want at least one more fleet here. That's for sure. Now, this fleet here, they are going to need to head somewhere. The question is, where do we want them to invade? Well, we were sending them up over here to take this back, and that's 63 days. So that's, I think, fine. We'll go ahead and tick forward. Oh, we should bump up to fastest speed. There we go. And overall, we have some alloys left in our bastions, but honestly, we've taken most of them. So we are low on those, and what we need to be focused on primarily... This guy's yelling a lot. But what we need to be focused on primarily right now is taking back these regions. So that is step one. We need to get these territories retaken. Then... Actually, we could come up here and do invasions once we're done over here. That would be fine, in theory. Yeah, that should be fine. Now, I do want to bump up our sail here by about 300 and about 400. Now, I don't expect this to pull us out of debt here, but we're also going to bring this up by about 100. Okay. We could also sell dark matter, and we're going to sell about 10 of, not 100. We're going to sell about 10 of those. Okay. Now, dark matter is needed for reinforcing ships. So that's definitely something to think about. Now, the Topaz requires orders, and it will head potentially to Zowood. The problem with this is actually quite powerful. We're going to hit the Brachium instead.
Hostile station engaged.
Because we definitely need some reinforcements here, so we'll wait for those. That'll be fine. Actually, should we send the Bronzite into Rimborth now that they just left with their Juggernaut? If we can grab this station quickly, it might not be a bad concept. It's risky, but it might not be a bad concept. And a Juggernaut came back through. Well, we should still be okay. I think that's not a problem necessarily. We can defeat this Juggernaut for sure. It's going back out.
Enemy ships have been spotted.
Okay. Interesting. So the Nephrite requires orders along with the Celestite? I don't believe that's actually a thing. I think this is just the Nephrite, and it needs to head down over this way. Of course, the Ruby is heading down over here. That's going to continue to push further, and we're actually going to tell the Nephrite to come over this direction and grab this territory for us. Cool. Have enough days passed for our jump drive. 17 days. That's not bad. Okay, sounds good. So the Opal is pushed down over here. It requires reinforcements. It's back up to full strength, surprisingly, but okay. Sure, we're going to push down over here for the moment. Now, we're heading in over here, and we're going to eventually get reinforcements here. We may want to hit Zandabon. We'll have to think about it. Now, the Bloodstone, we're going to send over to Roxolana right now. They have a lot there, but we're expecting them to respond to this. This is the expectation. That they're going to come through this gateway. We'll see if that's true. So far, they aren't. That Juggernaut retreated.
Our starbase is lost.
We got the gateway back. That's a huge deal, actually. The Bronzite is going to push into Tifim, and then we'll push up to Lidugena from there. So, the Topaz is off over this way. We got Brachium. We're going to head back over here now. We're only at -1 energy credit. That's not bad. That will get worse as we continue to build ships, of course. We don't have that many queued up, it looks like, although that'll probably change here pretty soon. For the time being, we're letting our alloys bank up because we don't have a huge reason to get those going again. But for now, this will do fine. We should head over here for sure. Okay. So we can take this back, no problem. And yeah, we're just moving around over this way. So far, so good. So, if we look at the status quo here, this is getting better for us. That's great. These guys should absolutely be able to jump drive now, and we will. We'll jump drive up over here, and we'll land on Snarabu. Snarabu? That would be better. Snarabu. Perfect. We're going to head into Rixim, no problem. And we're going to try hitting Zandabon here, I think. If the same thing happens again, if they don't respond through the gateway, then that's fine. Now, there's a lot over here. We may want to send the Bloodstone over to here instead. And group these together. There we go. Cool. So let's go ahead and do that. I think we're going to give this a go. Again, this is a little risky, but if we can deny them this gateway, that's a huge deal. Okay. So, the Topaz, I would like to push up over this way, and actually this looks fairly safe, with the exception of this being a 113k. That's a little dangerous, considering we're only at 100,000. Now, we're at negative 550 consumer goods and minus 924 energy credits all of a sudden. I'm not exactly sure what was going on there. Presumably it's a monthly trade price issue, but there shouldn't be one of those. We'll keep an eye on that. Okay, so the Ruby Saphite requires orders, and it will head over to Zerma. We'll continue to reinforce that, I guess. So much for 10k alloys. Beautiful. And the silver, well, I would like to attack Taneka over here, head over to Berylin. That would be kind of ideal. 72k, that is doable. Do it. Cool. So we have a lot of fleets that are currently working on aggressive actions, right? We need to get a bunch more involved into defensive actions. We don't really care too much about these. This we do care about. Getting us back that interstellar assembly. Now we could go hit Sanctuary here. And actually, I think we should. That's a ring world. So I'm very interested in that. We're going to come down over this way, take back all of this territory, like so-ish. We'll see if we want to revise that in a little bit. We did get Zandabon. Now, this gateway is still not ours, but that's still a huge deal. We're going to move up over this direction. Nice. The Topaz is still awaiting reinforcements. I would love to hit Zowad. But that's really not a great concept.
Our landing party is
Now, they have a lot of little fleets out here still, and some of them aren't so little. So we're still a little concerned about that. We're going to continue to head on over this way and reinforce our fleets as we can. We're keeping our alloys low. Now, we're definitely going to have to back off on our consumer goods sales, it would appear. So we're going to have to back off 4 and an additional 100. That's unfortunate. That does mean we're going to be very negative on our energy credits. But I guess it'll have to do. So we've got a lot of ships building still, and some of these have queues, some of them don't. We are definitely running low on alloys. So, how do we want to address this? Well, we definitely want to take this area back. That's a big deal to us right now. So this is the Starite, and the Starite are, of course, heading down to Zarim, and then to the X941 Singularity after that. So that'll be perfectly fine. The Silver requires orders. It's in Taneka right now, and we're just going to move up over this direction and take back some of this territory. Cool. So that'll be fine. It looks like we don't really need the buddy system that I was talking about in the last episode that badly. This seems to largely be under control. We just need to get some territory back. And this up here is very, very under control. So, we're going to be needing orders on the Ruby Sufit. And I'm thinking about telling them to come down over this way. It would be a lot faster to jump drive to Peya, and then from there, come over here. So that'll do. We don't need 3 fleets over here. I think that's pretty clear. We can go ahead and continue to reinforce our fleets. I don't think that's really necessary right now.
Fire when ready.
So the Bloodstone is over this way. We'll just continue reinforcing this way as we see fleets that need them. I think that's completely fine. This one's at full strength. We're just awaiting the reinforcements to show up. So that'll take some time. A lot of our fleets are nowhere near full strength, though. There's no doubt about that, and they won't be. We just don't have the alloy generation to deal with it. The Heavenite over here requires some reinforcement, not a lot, but a little bit. And from here, where are we going to push? Well, we are going to... That's a good question, actually. I think we need to push down this direction. Actually, I don't necessarily like this directionality, but it'll have to do. Okay, there we go. So the Opal Safit is, of course, done and is over here. Done with its orders. We're going to jump drive down to here, and then from there, go into Elor. Cool. I'd really love to hit Zoad right now. And we're winning basically every battle that we're having right now, and this is exclusively because we are just hitting star bases. We are not really fighting their forces at this moment, and that's something to think about. Now, the Nephrite requires orders, and it doesn't really have that much to do over here. I think I want to send the Nephrite, if we can, over to, like, Enigma's End. That's going to take some time to get there. That's okay. Now, we could push up over this direction. That's not a terrible idea. Yes, that's fine. There goes most of our alloys. That's to be expected. We're going to sell off a little bit of extra food here to bump up our energy credits, as well as a little bit of minerals. There we go. We can actually bring this up again by another 200. That's fluctuating fairly wildly. Okay. Excellent. So, we have taken our planet back, technically. Next, we need to look, actually, we need to look at claims. Is this claimed? Yes. So, we definitely want to claim these 3. We have 262 right now. That's going to cost 129. Do it. Next, I want to claim Rixim, and that's all we can get for now. Okay, so with Rixim claimed, we should absolutely jump drive over to Rixim. Actually, we can't jump drive there. We should, in that case, head over to Jolfti and begin to land over here. Cool. So the Topaz is still awaiting its reinforcements.
Enemy ships have been spotted.
The Bloodstone is going to push its way through here. Like so. And that's basically all we can do at the moment. Now it looks like reinforcements are starting to arrive for the Topaz. That is very, very good. Let's see. The Ruby needs some reinforcements. That's about 3k, and it's back to full strength. Now, some of these down here, probably not so full strength. Ah. Okay, they brought a fleet in over here. So that's going to retreat. And we're going to have to retask another fleet for that. But the Gold Safid is actually in a pretty close location to handle that. So that'll be okay. In fact, they don't need to come over here. They can just come over this way for now. So the Starlight will need reinforcement, of course. But it won't be back for a while. It will be back in a month. That's really fast, actually. I'm quite surprised by that. Okay, cool. So the Opal requires orders and some reinforcements. We're not losing very much right now, so that's actually a good thing. Now we jump drive to get here. The question is, now what? Well, I feel like we come over here. That's going to take about a year to get there, and that's 177k. But we'll be able to reinforce on the way. And we can jump drive part of that way once we make our way over this way. I mean, how long on that jump drive? 145 days. So a while.
Give them a broadside.
A while. The Ruby is down over here. We need to hit Lythorius.
Our landing
And for now,
party
this
is
seems
reaching
okay.
enemy shores.
We're doing fine, actually. But this is mostly because they're being super passive. So we're going to hit Lythorius, and then we're going to move down to Wumjam. The Starlight has arrived back. Now, we're going to spend all of our alloys on reinforcing that, and then we're going to send them out probably over this direction. Over to, say, Kosk. And then they're going to maybe take part in dealing with the stuff up here, while these guys head down this way. I think that'll do just fine. Cool. So we're getting a lot of cleanup happening here. We're going to head to Parsax and then Panosta, and then we're going to head over this way. Now, this is only 27k. Or not 27k, 2700. How much can they actually take on here? Not that much in reality. Now, these are only like 1k stations. Yeah, 1.5k. So it's likely that they're going to be able to beat that, but that's okay. We'll catch them eventually. The Bloodstone requires orders, and its orders are to move over this direction. Just imagine if we had a every occupation we get CB. Oh man. That would be insane. So we're going to actually head in like this, and really, this is completely fine. We can just do that, and then we don't need the Starlight to come down here. So where do we want the Starlight to go instead? Bologna's? Do it. That'll be just fine. The Bronzite requires additional orders, and its orders are to head up to Medak. And then after that, head over towards, like, Travelor, and take this back, and then do a pass like that. Cool. So we're currently losing 1,000 energy credits per month. That's a little grim. That's for sure. We do need to reinforce the gold, and we can't continue to reinforce that necessarily. Can we take this singularity with just the single fleet? The answer is not necessarily, but now that their other fleet left, maybe. Maybe.
Ahoy there.
We'll give it a go.
Enemy
We've
ship
been
has
doing well with these kind of risky plays, so that'll be great. That'll be absolutely fantastic. They brought back in a 33k fleet, but I feel like this is fine. For now. Not necessarily forever, but for now. So we're going to hop in over here. We have a 145k fleet. We immediately wipe out their little 33k fleet. And their station is dropping very fast. So this does appear to be under control. Perfect. So that's wonderful. The station is now ours. So the Topaz is still awaiting reinforcements. I really would have thought those would have gotten there by now. That's... All of these are like in a month? Not all of them, but some of them are. So that'll take some time, I guess. And we could push up to Zoad if we wanted to, but we really shouldn't. We really, really shouldn't. Now, this is all cleaned up at this point. So we can easily move in over this way. No problem whatsoever here. Excellent. What other fleets might we need to reinforce? Well, this one's in FTL right now and attacking Travelor. So that's fine. The Starite has lost a lot of ships. This is obviously where we need to reinforce. So the Starite is just going to chill in Enigma's End for the moment and reinforce. That desperately needs to happen. The Gold is going to continue to reinforce as well. We've taken that Singularity. We're going to head into Talarim and grab this station. Cool. So at this point, if we were to status quo, they would get Ajagian and Rastaban. Those are these that we don't necessarily care about. And we would get a whole lot more. Now, we can go ahead and make a claim. And that's something that I'm interested in doing. We can't afford over here, sadly. But that's okay. So this attack here is still ongoing. That will end soon enough. Okay. Remember, we have claims on everything over here. And the Ruby is going to head to Propus and grab that back. After it's done there, it's probably going to head up over this way. Oddly, this gateway doesn't seem to have flipped back to us. That's very strange, right? It should have. It definitely should have. We can head into Siet here, and actually that seems fairly safe. We can continue to reinforce that fleet, although we can't get all the way done with it. And of course, this fleet desperately needs reinforcement. So we're going to just chill there with the Starite. We just had an envoy die. We don't care about envoys. That's fine. The Gold is now going to push up to Yamather. That's a 54k. Sounds good. Do I have any Titans under construction right now? We have a destroyer, a bunch of destroyers, a battleship, and a cruiser. So no, we don't really have Titans under construction. Fair enough. Just wanted to double check that. So that's all queued up over there. They don't actually have claims on this territory, so that's reasonably fine. I'm shocked that we haven't gotten reinforcements into the Topaz yet, but I suppose it is quite deep from the gate, from the L gate over here. Or the gateway over here would actually be the closer one. Okay. Well, for now, we're just going to continue to chill here. The Diamond will push over to here. That's a 100k station, so we'll take losses there. The Silver requires orders, and its orders are to head down to Beryllion, like so. From there, it will be able to head through this wormhole and clear that up. So the Ruby Safite is, of course, heading up that way next. And they came in presumably through the wormhole. And they're actually just absolutely wrecking this fleet. Okay. So they're going to take this back, which is a little bit unfortunate. But it's okay for now. I'm actually going to, I think, jump drive the Topaz out of here. This is kind of useless. And we're going to send the Topaz over to the XT 941 Singularity. It will get there pretty quickly. And it should be able to take control of this back. That said, there's another 116k fleet here, and it looks like they're sending more through that wormhole. So, we're going to need quite a lot over there. What do we have that's potentially available or available soon? The Ruby could be available. If we were to jump drive them there right now, that could work. They just jumped through the L gate there. So they may encounter us up here. Actually, no, they're fighting our station. So they're going to get destroyed here. Now, our fleet just jumped through the L gate, and we're going to destroy their fleet. Absolutely. They don't have a chance here. Beautiful. So, we are up in the XT-941 Singularity right now, and we're going to defeat this fleet here. No problem there. Cool. Gateway in the Mufrid system has been constructed. That's fine. And we're going to just enter orbit up over here for the moment. Now, they jumped another fleet in here. However, we have reinforcements on the way, and if we can get through this lag tick, there we go. Let's see. Was that our second fleet coming in there? Yes. Our second fleet has arrived. So we should, in theory, be able to win this. Emphasis on in theory. We're taking heavy losses for sure. But we do win it. Perfect. Get in here, enter orbit. We need to reinforce these fleets. There we go. Okay. So this is under our control for the moment. They've moved back through here with a little fleet. That's annoying, but it's not the end of the world because... Let's see, Nikor? Where is Nikor? Here. Okay, so they have a claim on this. That's not the end of the world, but it's okay. So the Opal Safit is basically ready to go here. We're going to send them into Jinkath, but it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to try to put an end to this war. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And I will see you all next time.